Hi, everybody. It's Dan Cerrucci again. And if you were looking for us at 9 o'clock with Ankush Bhandari, um, here we are at 10 minutes after 8. So we're actually a little bit early. We're actually a lot early. And it's my fault because I had one of these shows on Tuesday night this week, which went on at 9 o'clock. Usually I come on at 8 o'clock. And so I had 9 o'clock in my mind. I have to apologize to you, Ankush. And
That's
Ankush was
okay.
kind enough to call me, and he said, "Dan, I'm on StreamYard. Where are you?" So here we are. And the first thing I want to do, Ankush, is go on Facebook and make sure that this is live on my Facebook page.
Sure.
And there we are. We are live on the Facebook page. And I'm going to go on the Facebook page and I am going to edit audience and I'm going to make this public so that anybody can see it. And you
Sure.
can go on Facebook and you could go to my Facebook page where
Yeah.
this is now live and you can share it onto your Facebook page.
Sure. I will do that.
And then I am going to go onto Twitter and make sure we are also live
Live on Twitter.
on Twitter. I always do this at the beginning of the show just to make sure. And let's see. Oh, there we are. We're fine. Now, some of you may be watching this at 9 o'clock because you saw 9 o'clock, so you tune in. It's fine. It'll be there at 9 o'clock. Okay.
So you are also on the YouTube right now, or
Uh, we are on Facebook and Twitter,
okay,
and we are on my YouTube channel.
okay,
Yes, on my
okay.
YouTube channel. If you go to YouTube and you go to Dan Cerrucci, it's
Yeah.
also on my YouTube channel. And immediately after this program, I will put it up at dancerrucci.com.
At
So
your
it will
blog.
be there. It'll be there as well. And this is the second chat that Ankush and I have had. And we first met Ankush a year ago at the Republican Summit in Atlantic City.
Yeah. Last year.
And then you were at the summit as I was again this year. Folks, if you see me sneeze or wipe my nose during the program, it's because for me, I don't know why, it's sort of early, but it appears as if allergies have kicked in again for me. It's like this warmer weather, this spell of warmer weather we've been having here in South Jersey. Immediately, I just saw today that the tree pollen was at the moderate allergy level. So it's rising up and it has affected me. So,
Right.
Ankush, you were at the Republican Summit last year. This year, you do consider yourself a Republican, yes?
100%.
100%.
Yes. And
And
that's also very fascinating story, Dan. When I came to this country legally, I'm a legal immigrant. I
okay,
came through work visa. I follow the process, get my green card, and everything. Now it took me more than a decade to get the green card, but I didn't cross the river. I didn't jump on the wall. I came legally in as and work here, pay my taxes, become a responsible uh, 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 person, so that I can also contribute to this mother, to my second motherland, who has given me an identity, the food on my table, the roof on my head, and the clothes on my body, and the most important, an identity that yes, I am a legal immigrant, like maybe many of your forefather, great grandfather, or grandfather has come here
right,
legally, right?
my grandparents
Yeah.
were all legal immigrants from Italy.
Yeah. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yes,
So,
all four of them were legal immigrants from Italy.
yeah.
They came here legally. My
Yeah.
parents, of course,
Everybody asked me, what's wrong? this country is made of immigrants. I said, but you should add one word: legal immigrants. I have no
Absolutely.
issues even if this country invite 200 million more illegal immigrants or 500 more million immigrants. I have no issues. But one illegal immigrant, it boils my blood. Then why I came legally here? I was I had a master's in computer science. I have a good knowledge, understanding, I hope so. And I would have got a very nice job if I have come illegally and don't have to wait in the queue for a decade almost, and getting a sleepless nights when my visa, yeah, has to renewed, right? It's a tough job. I don't know, maybe your grandparents know that. It's very tough. You have
It's
a
a tough
sleepless night.
journey. And in fact, I have a friend who
Yeah, that's why
came here from
I
Italy.
say,
Yeah.
yeah, that's why.
And he went through the process, and it's been a very,
Yes,
very long process for him
yes,
and very
yes,
difficult. And it isn't easy. And for a person like you that came here legally, and you said rightly, it makes your blood boil when you see people just coming in here and they're
yeah,
getting all kinds of benefits. They're
yeah,
getting they're getting free housing. They're
yeah.
getting
Eight to
free
ten
health care.
million. Dan, I was reading $8 to $10 million per day. There's this administration, this worst administration I think the America has witnessed in its long history of around 300 years, right? I don't know what they want to prove to the world or what they want to prove to themselves.
Well, a lot of people say that the Democrats, because it's the Democrats that have done this and have permitted this. I mean, after all, Biden signed a bunch of executive orders when he first came in, nullifying everything that President Trump did, and he stopped building the wall. Okay,
And now
and a
all the
lot of
things are coming back. See, all the things are coming back. He said, we want to have business with China. Now he's saying, no, no, no more China. Today, they blocked the TikTok. President Trump said, we have to decouple China, right? And it was his policy. If you see now, see, Rom is not built in a day, Dan. Everybody knows that. President Trump in 2019, I think, he started separating from the China, their trade, and start a trade war with them. And now in 2022, 23, we have witnessed how Chinese economy is going slash. It's going down. Evergrande is done. No more. 35% of Chinese economy is on retail sector. Evergrande, which was a giant, the biggest retail market in China, it's gone. 50 retail companies has faced a lot of problem and is on the verge of collapse in China. The second largest, I was reading today, I think the name was Work or something, it's also on the verge of collapse. It owes $5 billion to its customers, which they can't give. Now the Chinese say, no, we can't let this down, because if it goes down, China will collapse. And I'm telling you on your channel right away, by 2035 to 2040, China will collapse. The
well,
way
China is they are in
collapsing mode.
economic trouble right now. They are in serious economic trouble. Isn't that correct?
Yes, 100%. It's going the same way the Soviet Union did. And I don't want
So
America to
why
go
should
that
we
way.
do anything to save them?
Nothing. We should not save them. Why should
Right.
we? We already have $33 trillion of debt. You and me, who has paid our taxes regularly, on time, everything on time, whether it's a state tax or it's a, even the taxes when I purchase this coat, right? I pay that. The sales tax, whatever, the home tax, everything. We owe $100,000. Why? Because of the failed policies of the government. $34 trillion we have debt. So if you see, you don't have to be a Harvard graduate in that. $33 trillion divided by 330 million people, the population of this country. Everybody owes
Well,
$100,000.
and President Trump succeeded in placing tariffs on Chinese goods, and
Yeah,
he
he was
managed
right.
to get a lot of money from China. A lot
See,
of money.
I want to tell you one thing more, Dan. Last time we didn't speak much on how I become a Republican. It was the President Donald J. Trump. When I heard him 2017 in UN, his speech, he was very clear on one thing. He said, I am the President of United States of America. I am not the President of the world. Don't come with your bowl and expect I will put whatever you want in that bowl. I owe to my American people. I am questionable to the people who put me in the White House. I am not questionable to the people of the world. And he was right.
Oh, sure, because he went to
The
the
American,
European nations. He went to the European nations,
yes,
and he said, "You've got to start paying your fair share of NATO.
yeah,
You've got to start paying. You've got to start giving us men and material and so forth. If we're going to fight these wars, you want to fight wars, you're going to have to put
you're
a
sure.
stake in it. You
Yeah,
can't just go to Big Daddy USA and expect us to foot the bill and take the
exactly.
risks for
Exactly.
everything."
Eh, Always NATO say one thing, Article 5, but Article 5 is not the article in the charter, right? There is also a way that you have to pay a percentage of GDP to NATO to build up your military, to build up your military equipment or whatever, to make yourself strong. If you think you pay half or one fourth or one fifth or nothing from your GDP, and you think America will come and save you if something happens, you are mistaken. And I completely agree to that. Agreement is an agreement, Dan.
When this has been going on for years, it's been going
Yes.
on for years
If
that
you
we've
see,
been look at the money that we have spent to keep the United Nations going when other countries don't contribute their fair share. And here's an organization that actually works against us.
against us. Exactly.
Works
That's what
against us.
President Trump said. I'm not working with I think the WHO or something. He came back, right, because you are working against us. Similarly, he did with Pakistan. He said, Pakistan, we paid you $2 billion, and you have your Haqqani network, all the Jaish Muhammad who kill my sons and daughters in Afghanistan. I'm not going to pay you. I don't have an extra money. Similarly, he said to Japan, Japanese people, Japanese government at that time, what was his prime minister? Yokashohu? What was his name? I'm forgetting.
I
That,
don't recall.
yeah, that you have to give a fair share. Whatever agreement I signed, you are still paying the same amount of 1950s. Boss, that time in 50 cents I get a gas or 30 cents per gallon gas. It's no more now. It's 10 times. So you have to pay a fair share. He said to South Korea, he said to Japan, if you want my navy, if you want my army, if you want me to help you to protect you, you have to give a fair share. And what's
And
wrong with that?
if you want to talk about Korea, when President Trump was in office,
Hmm.
North Korea started to diminish its accelerated missile
Program.
program. They
Yeah,
backed off.
exactly.
He backed off. The Rocket Man, he called him Rocket Man,
Yeah,
the leader of North Korea. He
yeah.
backed off because
Jimmy,
Trump
yeah.
went over there.
Mhm.
He talked to him, he respected him, but he made his position very, very clear. I really think that one of the things that made other world leaders respect Trump, and
Because he's respectable. He gives respect.
well, he
That's
did
my
give
thing.
respect, and no question about that. He gave respect to the other world leaders on an equal basis,
Yes,
but he also told them very directly what he expected of them.
exactly. That's how it's a two-way traffic, right?
Well, I think, folks, if you're watching, we're on a little earlier than expected. It doesn't make any difference because if you tune in at 9 o'clock, you're still going to be able to watch the whole program. This is Dan
Yeah.
Cerrucci. I'm chatting with my friend here from India, Ankush Bhandari. And I think, it's amazing to me, Ankush, that um, you are a legal immigrant to this country.
Yeah,
You weren't born and raised here, and you actually are more aware and more informed about the issues and what's going on than the typical American, than the
yeah,
typical American who takes their freedom and so forth for granted.
yeah.
Takes it
And
for
the
granted.
problem, yeah, Dan, what I think the problem is that the system is so much corrupted here. The school system, if you see the education system, who really fought for for this country, for their motherland, they are nowhere in the books. But who are traitors? I have no grudges in saying them the traitors who are traitors for this country. They are all over the books. Our kids now, they don't stand and respect our flag, but they kneel down. What can you expect?
Terrible.
What can you expect in the coming generation? Are they going to fight our wars against the enemies? I don't think so. I'm sorry.
It's very, very
You
sad. And
know, when I read in one of the article, it was Heritage Foundation. I think I was reading the one article over there. After the Declaration of Independence, Benjamin Franklin was walking across the street, and one lady, a simple citizen at that time of this country, asked him, Mr. Franklin, what you have for us? He said, you have a Republic of America, and it's up to you how you keep it.
yes, it was
That's,
something to that effect. Yes, Benjamin
yeah.
Franklin.
I
Yes,
don't remember the exact words, but it was like this. Okay, I don't remember the
it
exact
was a
words.
republic if you can keep it, and if you can
Yeah,
keep
yeah,
it
like
meant
this.
that the responsibility was on the people of the country
Right.
to make sure that they kept a representative democracy,
Yes. Yes.
meaning a
There's a
republic
difference. Yeah.
where we elect representatives
And
who,
present and send them to the White House, or sorry, to the Capitol Hill to represent us. And the irony is
right.
that they work against us.
Well, a lot of times, unfortunately, it seems they do. A lot of times, it seems they do. What do you
If
think about this? Let me ask you, what do you think, Ankush, about this move? I don't know how up if you've read up on it,
which one?
about the move against TikTok. The House of Representatives passed a bill that TikTok has to be sold. Otherwise, has the Chinese have to divest themselves of it. Otherwise, get the hell out of this country.
It's a it's the right move, but very, very late. Very late.
Very late.
It's just like that. Okay, I am near to the to win the victory, but okay, I will do that. But your enemy has already won many battles. If he has lost, it doesn't matter, sir.
They already have all
India
the information
banned
they stole
TikTok.
from us,
Yeah, India banned TikTok in 2020. What took America 4 years to ban?
and they haven't banned it yet.
Yes, India has
Because
fully
it
abandoned
passed the
it.
House of Representatives, and we don't know what's going to happen in the Senate. Okay,
Sir, leave it. Biden said couple of years back, maybe 21, I think, that the government employees, whether they are federal, and I think it's only federal, not the state government, they can't have TikTok on their cell
right,
phones, especially which are being given by the government, right? The federal cell phones. But they can have on their personal cell phones, okay?
right.
So why you are going one and then you take the other step 4 years after, and then you will say, okay, TikTok we are banning on at the state level after 4 year, and then you say we are banning TikTok all over America and another 4 year.
But
Already China has sent the balloon. They have already taken what information they want. Okay, they are they they are taking the information, because whatever the apps they have, it's all have to provide the information to Chinese government. And I have written, and in fact, in two books which I co-authored, I have written an article on cybersecurity, and I openly mentioned there in March of last year, every day we have cyber attack in America. Where they attack? Hospital, so that they can know what type of blood level we have, blood group we have, what type of medicine we are doing, what type of research we are doing.
And this is, I mean, this is your business. This is your area of expertise is computers and
Yeah,
information services.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying, that we know our adversary is way ahead. If I remember correctly, in 2018 or 19, it was during the Trump administration only. uh, who is the senator from Florida? Rubio, Senator Rubio. Okay, he has said the time is not far off. You are saying that ban the products from China. We have to ask each and every permission from China whether we can launch our space shuttles, whether we can go, our navy ships can go, because they are entering each and every in our personal life, in our personal space. But nobody pay any attention to him.
It's 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 no, it's a
Because
very,
many of
very
our yeah, because I'm sorry to say, to me it seems many of our representatives are on the payroll of China, so that they don't want to take any action against that. It
so I
seems
mean
like.
India saw this right away and they banned TikTok.
In 2020, when the Doklam event happened, Chinese tried to inflate into Indian territory. Indian government take the action. No more apps over there. And now they were 90% of our telecom industry was owned by China, because they sell very cheap cell phones and all those. It's a universal truth, right? But Indian government said no more, because you are taking a lot of information from us. You're taking all our data, and all the data centers are in China. How come? We should have data center in India. We should have data center in US. We should have data center of respective country in their country. Why should we have the data centers in China? What the heck they want to do with us? If I need my help, if I have to go to my background check, it will be my country law enforcement who will be doing that background on me, not the Chinese law
Right.
enforcement, right? If I need a blood, it's my country. America will be giving the blood. They know my blood group. My doctors will know my blood group, right? Not the
Right.
Chinese doctor.
Why do the Chinese have to know that?
Exactly. If
And
I
that's
need a medicine,
and that's just one example of the kind of information that they're gathering. And goodness knows, I mean, I don't even want to think
what they are
about
up
it.
to, what they are up to, we know don't know.
But
And I'm so
Ankush,
sad.
I have to say, I love your passion on these issues. I love your passion. And folks, are you watching him? Are you listening? I mean, if I didn't know the way he's talking and he's gesticulating with his hands, he's using his hands, I could think he was actually Italian. You know, I could think you were actually Italian the way you're talking with your hands and your,
No,
which
that's
I
the.
mean as a compliment, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. But that's the real fact, right? We don't have to give so much to our adversary. Yes, we need the we America needs relation with each part of the world, right? But it should be under some proper guidelines and under some proper restraints, right? So how
Right,
can you be open-handed? If you are open-handed to the country like China, which is a communist country, the day is not far off. They already have a lot of institution, what they call institutions name, Confucius, right? They already have hundreds and thousands of Confucius institution in this country. If you remember in 2020, March, April, this time only, I remember it was the start of spring. Every day from epoch time, I hear a news that, okay, this Chinese student has been deported to China because he was taking all the research thing from California. This is
right.
happening in Harvard. This is happening in Stanford. This is happening in Yale. So we were after them. If you want to come here, study, and leave. But you can't take all the information and export them your country, and you are It means they are spies. In another way, they are spies. Student in the form of
And
spies.
what's happening now is that we're discovering that a lot of these people coming through the border are actually coming from China, coming through the
40,000.
border now illegally.
40.
Illegally.
Yeah. See, the report, the latest report which I read, it says 40,000 Chinese. Who knows? It's for 4 million Chinese. Who knows? Who knows? I can't 100% compliment with the report, because reports are very convoluted sometimes.
Right. Right.
If in September last year, I spoke with Alex Newman on the channel in Florida. I think so. It was Patriot Channel, and then they said that some reports told him, or some of the people over there told him, that it's not 2-3 million, it's more than 7 million. This was in September, 6 months back. I have
See,
no
I've
problem
heard
in getting the people here if we can feed them. Sir, we have 5 million homeless people. I think our duty is towards our people than to the people of illegal immigrant of
go into
illegally.
go into any major city and look at the homeless people that are on the streets.
In LA, in California only, out of 10 main homeless cities, nine are in California: San Diego, Sacramento, the whole Bay Area, Los Angeles. You name any city, main city in California, it has become that. I went to San Diego in 2021 September, and I went across the beach. Oh my God, it was so stinking. I can't tell you. And I also went in San Diego in 2010.
A beautiful
It was
city.
beautiful. In 2009, I went in October, September, October, there in San Diego. It was so beautiful. And now, if you go there, you can't stand for 5 minutes. People pee there, people poop on that side. They are living in the small tents over there, like a huts or something. I mean, it's pathetic. You go to Philadelphia here, Philadelphia. Have you seen Philadelphia? Oh my God, you can't
Now,
stand for a second there.
I'm right across the river from Philadelphia, and
Yeah, you are in China. It's just three
yeah,
miles.
I
Yeah,
worked in Philadelphia. I worked in Center City, Philadelphia for 30 years. And
yeah.
I was there every day for 30 years. I don't go back there very much anymore because it has deteriorated so badly, and it's become dangerous. There are druggies on the street, people
Fentanyl.
doing drugs.
Fentanyl has spread like wildfire in this country. No one is taking action against fentanyl. Nobody is taking action against the illegal. And if you see now,
And that's another thing, that the drugs sell through the border, the fentanyl and so forth.
yes, yes. And if you see now, we have more than 1.2 million inmates in our jails. Do you think a country of 330 million needs 1.2 million inmates? And I was reading a report from Ohio Jail Authority. They said all the mental institution, the health institution, has been closed by the Ohio government, and all those people who need mental attention, they are being sent to the jails now.
It's it's a
It's
terrible
pathetic.
situation, and the mental institutions. This largely came about as a result of legal action and lawyers fighting the incarceration of the institutionalization, I should say, of people
Yes.
in mental institutions. Now, this is something that happened over over a period of 30, 40 years
Yeah, it
until
started.
eventually they pretty much did away with all mental institutions.
They said it started in mid 70s after Nixon, I think, passed something or something at that time,
Right.
and then it started, and then the condition becomes so bad that by late 90s or early 2000, they started closing up, and within by 2010 there was no institution left. So
And
where
now
they send,
a lot of these people now are on the street. They're mentally ill
yeah,
and
they
they're
are
on the
on the
street.
street or they're put in jail because they don't know what they are doing. So, oh, he did a crime, put him in the jail. Do you think why we are putting so much pressure on jail system? I don't understand. Even for the I'm not against the jails. Yes, people who are criminal, they should be in the jail. But for a small crime, like I always say this, if for a small crime like a shoplifting, if somebody go and shoplift a bread, he's hungry. As a society, we should be helping that person, right? And I
Yes, we
always
should be
say so.
helping that person, but what you see now, like for example in San Francisco, is people that are just shoplifting. So they're not being prosecuted. They're not being punished in any way. They're going in the stores. They're shoplifting. The stores are
Yeah,
going out of business. The stores
yeah.
are going out of business.
I don't know if you see that video. I don't know if it's legal or it's true or false. I watched a video a couple of days back. A guy entered a mobile store. He took a couple of mobiles, put it in his pockets and all those. And the cop was just sitting outside the door in his car. He didn't do anything, and he just walked away. One cop was just perpendicular to that shop. He didn't do anything.
My wife witnessed, she was shopping at a store nearby here, right up the road from where I'm sitting now. And she witnessed shoplifting where a person went in, took a lot of stuff off the racks, ran out of the store, and ran into a getaway car, and was off before anybody could do anything, and nobody really did anything about it. It was a pretty nice high end clothing store here, and
The problem is that the inflation is too high. We also have to look at the root cause analysis here. We have to do some RCA here too. The inflation is at the top in 50 years, right? People have lost their jobs. After pandemic, when Biden just published the currency, the bills, and just give like a charity to the people, they are not going back to the work because they are out of work for so long. And all those plethora of lies which they said have the vaccine injections and all those which doesn't give any benefit, but now they are coming up that okay, and shut down the businesses. People lost the employees, and those employees now are not coming back, but they don't want to work. These administration has made the American citizen more lazy and push them systematically towards corruption. That's my analysis. I'm not saying on anybody, but I feel like that.
no, I do think that that that's a factor, especially among young people that got used to working from home. There's a lot of people got used to working from home. They don't want to come into the office anymore. They don't want to come into work. These are people that can work from home. Now, some people that are work, they work in jobs where they actually have to be there, like they're salespeople in stores or so forth, or they're working at a gas station, or they're working at a car repair shop.
Yep,
Okay, or they're working in construction. They're building roads. They're building highways. They're working on putting up buildings. They actually have to be at work. They have to report at work. So
exactly.
why shouldn't everybody? I mean, this is me. I wasn't able to work from home. I went into the office every day,
Yep,
and
yep.
in other words, I had to show up.
Yeah, that was the
Woody
culture.
Allen,
That was the
the
culture.
comedian and filmmaker Woody Allen said, he supposedly said, 9/10 of life, 90% of life is showing up. You got to show up.
Yep.
And
Because
these
see,
people
that
don't want to
that
show up.
generates the revenue. If you see, they said New York City in 2021, the report came, which there was an article, I don't remember, Epoch Time or somewhere I read, that New York City has lost $2 billion. Why? First, the people move out. They all came in the North Jersey, and there's so much traffic now, almost four times what it was before 2020. And and the other thing is that people started working from home. Okay, so by that, people don't go, the government loses the, because you either use your car or public transport, so you pay government, right, indirectly. And then when you go out, you purchase something, you go out for the lunches, you have parties, you go out for drinks, everything, because people are standing. Okay, I will if I have to have a for dinner, I will go near my restaurant, the
Right.
restaurant near my house. I'm not going to the all the way 10 miles or 20 miles to my workplace, right?
Well,
So
there's also the aspect of interacting with your coworkers, of
right,
actually interacting with your coworkers, socializing with them, getting to
exactly.
know them, working directly face to face as a team. All of these things are very important, it seems to me.
Yeah, because
And yeah, you're right. In Philadelphia, there are a lot of buildings that are like office buildings that are like
Mhm.
half empty now.
Yeah, same is the case with in New York, in any major cities, right? Now
Yeah.
they are proposing that the buildings which are empty now, earlier they were commercial, let's make them convert them into residential, and apartments and all those, and sell them off, so that at least the revenue will be
That's what they're
generated for the
trying to
city.
do.
Yeah,
That's what
that's
they're
what now.
trying to do. But Philadelphia, for example, I just heard today, lost 52,000 residents. 52,000 people have moved out of Philadelphia since the pandemic. And one of the reasons why they're moving out is because of all the crime. They're getting
Yes.
out of there.
Yeah,
They don't want to
and
be there.
if you see now, bless you, and if you see now in New York City also, the crime is rising. It will be the same situation as New York has faced in 1970s and 80s, the gangs, right? If you see last couple of weeks back, the cops were being hit by the illegal immigrants, right? So that's a very alarming situation here. It's not only in the Philadelphia, but I think the whole US, all the major cities from north to east, from west to south, all are facing this, whether it's Seattle, it's San Francisco, it's Orlando, it's Miami.
I'm not
Any
sure that it's really been addressed by
Yeah.
Biden and his people. There's a
No,
sense.
why should he address that? He was the one who bring this problem. He is the creator of this problem. Why he should address that, sir? That's a funny
You
answer, that
really get
why
the
he should
sense
address
that he,
that.
but you really, excuse me. I've been sneezing. As I told everyone, I have it. I have my allergies have kicked in, and I've been. You can see that I've been suppressing my sneezes. You really get the sense that he doesn't have any real grasp of what's going on. The way he shuffles about, he forgets what he's saying. I mean, he went to somewhere last week. I forget where he was. It was in Pennsylvania, I believe. And he said, please, I'm asking you, please elect me to Congress. Elect me to Congress. He's not running for Congress. He hasn't been running for Congress in a long time. I mean, it's
Did you
it's a
remember
very
the other day he called the Mexico president as a Turkish president or something like that?
yes. He confused the Mexican president with somebody from
Turkish
the Middle East, I think.
or Spain or somebody, I don't remember, but yeah. So see, Dan, what I understand is the president is just like the captain, but his team, he called himself 50 years into the um, politics, right? He's a seasoned politician, what we
Oh,
can say.
absolutely.
But how a seasoned politician like him, um, who has seen the worst, whether it's the Vietnam War or it's the recession of 1987, the oil embargo of 1973, or you can say the 9/11 and the recession after that, the many wars he has seen: Afghanistan, Iraq,
Oh,
Vietnam, Korea,
tremendous. Yes. He's
right?
been he's been in politics for over 50 years. Over
That's what
50 years. 5
that's
oh.
what So how he's not an embezzle. He seems to me like he has the brain and the mind to do that, but only if he has the will to do that. I can have the mind, I have the brain, but if I don't have the will, I will not get up and do work because I don't have the will. Now I may be the most intelligent person in my team. People took 2 hours to do that program. I may take 5 to 10 minutes,
Yeah, but
but
he's not as sharp mentally as he was.
I don't know. But see, that's why I always say, I saw the movie of Dinesh D'Souza. What was that called? What was that movie name? Uh, so I think that we should protect our right to vote, and we should protect the vote integrity in this country, which is very important. And one of the if you were in the summit, I think you must have heard how to save our votes, right? Protest the polls, protect our polls, sorry. So I think that's very important. If we want the right person at the right place at the right time.
Oh, you mean the voting process? Are you talking about the
Yes,
voting process now?
yes.
The election integrity.
Yeah, election
Yeah.
integrity, it should be saved at all cost.
Oh, it's very important.
Yeah,
But
and
who
that was also
knows?
one of the session we have in our New Jersey summit, right? GOP summit, right?
Yes, it was a very important session on election integrity. But Ankush, I think the last time you and I spoke, you told me that in India, I don't know how many million, a billion people, whatever the heck it is, vote, and they
900,
know
nine
how
hundred
many
million will vote now. 900 to 950 million are going to vote in May this year, because the election are also in this year, May.
950 million,
Yes,
almost a billion,
almost a billion. Yes.
are going to vote in May.
Yes.
And they
And
will know,
everyone has the voting card, the voter's card. But now I was talking with somebody in India. They said that the government is planning to create
a chip.
a chip which can be used as your voter identity, which will also be your passport, which will also be your driving license. And like we have social security here, we have Aadhaar card there, right?
Yeah,
And
well,
which
we have chips on our credit cards now. Yeah.
yeah, but we don't have. See, that's the problem. I was talking in summit also with somebody. That's the problem. If I have to go somewhere, they ask me my identity. Like, we said, can I have your driver's license? Like
Right.
today, I went for a conference and they said, can I have your ID card? And I give my driver license, right?
Yeah.
But when you are going to vote, nobody asks you.
Now, when I went to the conference in Atlantic City
They
that you
ask
and I
that
were
time
both
too.
at, and I checked into the hotel,
They ask,
they asked me for my driver's license.
yes,
I
same
had to show
happened
them
with
my
me.
driver's license to get
Same
into the
happened with
hotel.
me.
I showed them a credit card. That wasn't enough. They said, no, we want to see your driver's license. All right.
Exactly, exactly. That's the way.
But you
That
told me, wait, you told me in India, these 950 million people will vote and they will know the results when.
I think they have a process. First, all the votes happen, and then the voting start. I think after a week or so, after, because India is a big country. Like in US, we don't have the election in one day. It's all depend on the areas. So like North will go today, South will go tomorrow, West will
It's
go
over a
this.
period of time. Okay,
Yeah,
but
it's
once the voting is over,
over, then it will start, the counting of the votes will start, because we don't have paper ballots anymore in India. It's all electronic.
all electronic.
All
Yeah.
electronics.
Right.
That's why it's very quick. Within 4 to 5 hours, we know who is coming.
4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, we know who is coming. Where which way the elephant is sitting, you know?
So you pretty much have an idea how the election turned out.
Yeah, like generally, my time in India, the counting starts at 8 o'clock in the morning, which in my time is around 10:30 here. Okay,
Okay.
so 10:30, when I start seeing what the results are, by 2 o'clock or 2:30, before I go to bed, I know that which party is coming up, because in
There you
four
go.
four election they will show, okay, because by that almost 40% of votes are being counted. And if 40% is this way, like, very well who is coming.
So, I mean, India is really the largest democracy in the world, yes?
Yes,
The world's largest democracy.
yes,
It's amazing. It's an amazing country in that respect. I mean, it's really amazing that
yes.
that democratic system has been maintained there. For how long has it been a democracy now?
See, that's a very good question, and I will answer it in two ways. After 1947, when India got divided, or you can say India got independence from Britishers, we follow the Western way of democracy. But if you see from last 1000 to 1500 years, when because India is in existence from 10,000 years, okay, the name keep on changing. Sometimes they call Hindustan, sometimes they call by Bharat or something, different names. That was also that the way we used to do is like they should be called town, like we have towns here also, right? So they elect their, like we elect the mayor. So mayors then combined, they elect their representative. Then those representative will join hands, and they will represent their representative, who will
Okay.
rule, who will go. So that way the democracy was there in India long back. That's way it was. But now,
Wow.
yeah, so it's from time immemorial. If you read in our Vedas, if you read in our uh, history books and all those, these are there. It's not that it was not there,
So, I
but
mean, there was a tradition of some form of democracy in India going
yes,
back hundreds of years.
yes, there was one way or the other they do that. And even we have the king system, we don't have the prime minister, but that king has the whole cabinet, and whatever the cabinet decides, he goes with that. He never goes against that.
Okay.
Yeah, though it was not the prime minister or president, it was a king system. It was like what you called the king system. um so so uh,
Parliamentary?
like England also have the kings, right? They have prince and all those,
Oh,
right? Yeah.
okay.
So India also have the king, but princely states were there. We have the princes, we have the kings, but they also go with the democracy. That it's not like a communist China or communist Korea. That
But
okay,
the modern democracy of India that we know of now,
had been
you
adopted after 1947.
1927,
47.
47,
Yes. India,
1947.
yeah, India got
So,
independence on August 15th. So after that, they adopted it. And excuse me. And within 2 years, we have our constitution written. So the constitution came into force on January 26th, 1950. After
oh,
two
okay.
years, yeah.
Okay. It's
But
remarkable.
on the other hand, Pakistan, which get born from India, their constitution came after 22 years. So
Well, this is it's a remarkable story, and Ankush, we're coming up on like 48 minutes, 50 minutes. So I think we're going to have to bring this to a close.
yes,
It's
sir.
been wonderful chatting with you again, once
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
And
So
like I say, this is going to be, I'm going to put it at the top of my Facebook page. I'm going to pin it to the top of my Twitter page. If people tune in at 9 o'clock, don't worry about it. They're still going to be able to watch it. And it's going to go on dancerucci.com. You're going to share it if you haven't already
yes,
shared it,
I will share it, sir.
right? And it's on my YouTube channel. And it's always been great chatting with you. And I want
Same
to
here,
thank
likewise,
you.
sir. Thank you so much, Dan.
Great. Thank you for being with us tonight.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. Good night.